Welcome to the B-Sides and Beers podcast.
Welcome to B-Sides and Beers, episode 68. Tonight we're digging into part one of our three-part Woodstock quick hit series. Digging into Woodstock 69 for the start. How's it going, guys?
Awesome,
man. I can't believe we didn't time this perfectly to line 16, episode 69 up with 69. But I kind of like it that we're doing it off the path. It's good.
Yep.
a little premature.
Yeah, exactly.
But hey,
better late than never. Or
there you go.
Than never. Yes. What are we drinking tonight? We're doing 3 mini episodes. We're going to do 3 mini ones, so we're going to feature 3 different ones. So what do you guys got to start off?
I'll start off here. I have from Muskoka Brewery out of
From Muskoka.
It's Ontario somewhere. Bracebridge, Ontario, and it is a hazed and confused juicy IPA.
Ooh, Muskoka.
Yeah,
Juicy.
So does the character in that can have anything to do with the movie that it's alluding to, or?
I have no idea.
Oh,
This
right.
is one of the
Yeah, it
first
kind of
times
looks
I've
like
seen
him,
it,
doesn't
so
it? Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Nice.
Yeah,
And how is it?
Sweet.
it's really good, man, and it's what is this? A 6.5% strong beer, and it's delicious.
Awesome. I got a Hoyne. Yeah. And shout out to the Queen. I'm drinking Appleton's finest British ale.
Oh, okay.
Man.
So
That's a good one.
yeah, and I like this can too. I like the ornate drawings and stuff on it. So anyways, this is 5.2%, so not too strong. But these like write-ups that Sean has on these cans is like a full essay
Gold.
just about. I can't even read it on here because it's well written, but it's just there's so much to read here and so much history about this. So anyways, I'm going to try that and through this episode. Yeah, I'll let you know how it is. But Hoyne,
Nice.
out of Victoria. Yep, you bet.
Hoyne is delicious.
Yes, it is.
Always.
What you got?
I've got so yesterday. So once in a while, Kira will go out and just pick up random beers for me, and which is great because I tend to choose the same ones over and over again. And she picked up Abandoned Rail Brewing Co. And last night she got a Euro IPA, which was really good. So I went back to the liquor store and I kind of looked around, and they have this is a Marzen, I think, a traditional Bavarian lager style beer made only with malted barley, hops, water, and yeast. So, yeah, I'm excited. If this is as good as I had a tunnel vision last night, and this is a 5.7%. They are out of Penticton. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Getting the interior beer
For-
out there.
Yeah, man, we are.
And you know what? I should mention, since past COVID, there has been more Victoria or Vancouver Island brewery things in the liquor store, at least around me. I've found more of that. I don't know if
Really?
that's like for you, Mike, but
Yeah, it's definitely trickling in since
Yeah.
then.
Nice.
yeah, even
Nice.
like Vancouver Island brewing, like they're there too.
Yeah.
Like there's lots in the stores now.
Awesome.
So we're starting it all off way back in 1969. We're gonna start this Woodstock 3-part look of each of these, and
Yeah, man. Groovy.
yeah, I thought this would be with the Woodstock 99 documentary coming out, it kind of like was making me think, kind of going back to all these other ones in '94, and I kind of even realized I need to do a little bit more research on '94 because I don't know if I knew as much about it, right? But yeah, even going back to '69 though too, I thought I like knew lots about it, but even doing more research on it, I found some more stuff. So yeah. So I don't know where you guys want to start. I kind of just jump in. Yeah.
For me, this was the Bible. This was testify, hands down. I mean, I remember being quite young, and Derek actually had the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And we would watch it. And just like there were so many people on there that, this was probably in the 90s we would watch it. And of course, there's no YouTube and no quick sort of researching. So you would only kind of like know the bands from either records that your parents had or a CD or like something that you had read in a magazine. But it was so amazing to see. I mean, this entire list of bands here. I'm just looking at it right now. To see them all live, like in 1969, this just was the ultimate for me. This is what really wanted me, or what drove me to like learn bass guitar and start a band and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's something about the feel of that movie too. And I still watch it from time and time again, right? And it's just like, it's so good. But yeah, no, I agree with you that there's so many unbelievable performances on that DVD. And I mean, more than 500,000 people at this thing, right? Like, when you even look at it now and you still look at the pictures, it's still mind blowing. Like the way it looks, from the guy. I actually went there. I went to the site.
No way, the farm.
Yeah, I went to the farm, and it was cool because it was just like super quiet, like there's like nobody there, and like it was really hot and middle of the summer, and just kind of pulled up there, and there's just like this little kind of turnaround, and there's a plaque there, and it just kind of, you look at the plaque and you just like overlook where like the stage was out there, and it's just like, you can hear like cows mooing, and like, it's just like right in the middle of the farm, and it was just like kind of like holy ground, right? Like you're just like, this is awesome. And you only kind of hang out there for like maybe 10 minutes, and then you're like, okay, cool, like we're good now, right? So
Yeah, you soaked it in.
But yeah, I mean, like you said, Dave, the lineup, like, Grateful Dead, CCR, Janis Joplin, The Who, Jefferson Airplane, Joe Cocker, the band. I mean, and Hendrix. I mean, that performance is one of like kind of in the top 3 of my all-time like performances that I remember watching as a child too. Like most memorable performances, right? And I learned something when I was doing this, which I thought was just the most badass thing, and I had never heard of this before. But I knew that he didn't play on Sunday, and I knew he played on Monday morning, and I didn't know that they offered him to play at midnight, and he said no. But I also didn't know that he had a clause in his contract that said that nobody could go on after him. And I was like, that is awesome. Like, I read that. I thought it was
he was the highest paid on the bill.
So, yeah, that was one thing I learned on that.
Yeah. Well, it became a weird situation for him too, because he, how everything got, the whole concert got pushed back by hours and hours and hours, and he wanted to close it out on Sunday night, but when he doesn't get on stage until early morning, when most people have started to leave. You go up from 500,000 some odd people to 30,000 that are still kind of left behind when you go on stage. Like, just such a surreal feeling. And when you look at Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, not getting off the stage till 4 a.m. It's like everything is so pushed back. It's like, what do you do, right?
Yeah. It's just so cool though. I love that. But I remember that. I remember the Santana performance, so well too. There's so many epic performances in there. But
yeah. 10 Years After is the one that comes to mind. I don't know how many times I watched that.
Yeah.
Like, the guy was just so crazy, and
yes,
just the energy. It was one of my favorite acts on this roster for sure.
Yeah.
I did the math on this. They leased the land from the Yasserd's farm there, whatever his name was, I can't remember it, but they leased it from him for $75,000 for the weekend, 4,000 acres back in '69. So I was like, $75,000 in '69. That's got to be like a ton of cash now. So I did Googled it, $606,000 equivalent. I'm like, wow, that's he did pretty well, like to rent that out for the weekend,
yeah.
like, and now everybody visits it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, then he sold the land for $8 million,
yeah,
didn't he?
Yeah, he sold it. Yeah, 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 and then he died in like '71. Yeah,
No way, really? Oh, okay, so it
Yeah.
wasn't him that sold the land, but it did eventually get sold
It
for
did,
$8
yeah.
million, I read.
yeah.
Yeah.
It cost them $3.1 million to put on Woodstock in '69, which is the equivalent of $15 million today. Which I was like,
Unreal.
that's insane, isn't it? Like, but I guess if you were to get all those
It's
bands,
completely-
maybe that'd make the same. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you look at ticket costs, $18 in advance and $24 at the gate, which is what, 130 to 180 bucks today per ticket. So I mean, it's very it's very similar to what we would, or what we would be paying now. Well, no, now it'd probably be $500 a ticket. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's similar. It's comparable to what they paid in like 98 or 94 and 99. So
What really blows my mind is, okay, so Michael Lang was involved with all three. And he's such a kid. He's like, I don't know how old he is in '69. They had never done anything like this before. And like, for the most part, I think they pulled it off. But like, we'll talk about Michael Lang, I'm sure, in the next couple of episodes.
Yeah.
Most definitely. But I was always so surprised at how young this kid was who put together this amazing, experience.
Yeah.
well, and the big thing too is how did where did he get the money from?
Right.
Being that age, when you start off, you have this idea, and then you've got the money, and then you've got to get the permits, and you got to find the place, and you got to get the bands, and you start digging into finding locations, and it takes you 3 tries to get the right location, and it comes down to weeks before the show when you can finally lock down the right venue. It's unreal.
Well, they wanted to
Six
like he
weeks,
was
yeah.
based in Florida, and then they wanted to build a recording studio. So he had a bunch of investors, and they went up to actual Woodstock, New York, which is like this little arts town, kind of like probably 80 miles from where the actual Woodstock was held. So they went up there, and then they changed their mind and realized that they should maybe put on a concert. And then, that's kind of where he got the backing from. But these guys agreed, like Michael Lang, he agreed to pay these acts like double what they were going to be offered anywhere else just to entice them to come to this festival. So when they showed up,
That'll do it.
they wanted to be paid in cash before they went on stage. And they were like,
Yeah.
we don't like have the money. So they had to get a bank manager to open up the bank at like midnight to go into one of the promoters' trust funds to take the money out to pay these guys so they could
Put it in
go
an
on stage.
envelope, get them out on a helicopter
Yeah.
to give the money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for the majority of the bands did not get paid on the spot, but when you look at the Who and Grateful Dead and Janis Joplin, that there was no way they were going to go on unless they had cash in hand.
Yeah.
Like they were the big ones that held out for it. And when you look at Hendrix being paid what, $18,000 to $26,000 just to play that show at that time,
Yeah.
like
Thanks.
just him, that's what yeah, okay, for a 2-hour performance.
He
okay.
walked around there like the whole weekend too. Like he was there like the whole time too. It's not like, I thought too he just like helicoptered in for the performance, but he was just like backstage walking around.
I bet.
Yeah, when do I get to go on?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, super young. But the funny thing is he looks almost exactly the same in 1999. Wearing the short shorts and the curly hair. It's like the same dude. Like,
Yeah, not a lot more wrinkles.
yeah, no, he looks exactly the same. But yes, a classic and a good start to the trio of our mini episodes. Let's end it there, and we'll jump over to 94 and the next beer.
All right, we want you guys to subscribe, share, and review this podcast. Keep it going, keep it strong, because we're having a great time entertaining you guys with B-Sides and Beers podcast.